Good day, I'm Marjorie Gordon, and this is your JIS News for Monday, January 22, 2024. A systematic plan to ensure the police have the required mobility. That's how National Security Minister Dr. Horace Jang is describing the government's recent handover of 30 L200 pickups to the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF. The purpose-built security vehicles were acquired at a cost of $230 million.
Mobility is defined as one of the most publicly reassuring activity. Every survey you do, they like to see the patrol car. They're not even as keen on foot patrol or anything. When they see a patrol car, they say, we feel better, we feel safer.
According to the security minister, the vehicles will increase the capacity of the JCF to deal with the level of crime in the country.
There are no attempt to shortchange the police. We are committed to transforming the police force in term of office to one of the most modern professional police force in the Western Hemisphere.
Residents in and around Santa Cruz, St. Elizabeth are now benefiting from a $1.4 million upgrade of the town's health center. The facility now has the capacity to continue normal operations even as it responds to disasters and public health crises. The center also boasts new roofing, hurricane shutters, LED lighting, portable water storage tanks, as well as solar energy, rainwater harvesting, and fire alarm systems. The health center was revamped through the Smart Healthcare Facilities project. The program, which has already retrofitted 11 other facilities across the island, is a partnership involving the governments of Jamaica and the United Kingdom, as well as the Pan American Health Organization.
What this program has done for us is establish new standards of healthcare development. And to my mind, that captures the sustainability element. So it's not just about Santa Cruz or the other facilities. It's now about how do we take the lessons that we have learned and standardize all of what is being done.
The extensive upgrades undertaken at this and other facilities designated as SMART align with PAHO's and WHO's disaster risk reduction priorities, as well as Jamaica's climate change policy framework. And importantly, what is taking place here in the SMART facilities serves as a blueprint for other improvements that we see across the island.
What we're seeing is making sure that in the event of an emergency, ensuring that health services can continue, that they're not disrupted, by improving the infrastructure, by making sure it's not damaged, really can make sure that sick and injured, particularly at the times of crisis, and crucially, those staff who can provide care are properly protected.
In other news, the government is examining the removal of the guarantor requirement for all Students' Loan Bureau applicants. Currently, only wards of the state and students on the Program of Advancement Through Health and Education path are not required to have guarantors to support their applications. But at a recent wrap session with students at Guys Hill High School in St. Catherine, Prime Minister Andrew Holness said plans are in train to change that.
This administration has removed the requirement for having two guarantors. So now you only need one. But we are also actively considering removing this business of a guarantor.
Since April 1, 2021, SLB applicants only need one guarantor instead of two to secure a loan. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has announced that the government has entered a partnership with Food for the Poor to deliver more social houses to Jamaica's neediest. Mr. Holness made the disclosure as he handed over a $4.5 million two-bedroom house under the new social housing program NSHP at Berkshire in St. Catherine. According to the Prime Minister, Food for the Poor has the building supplies, expertise, and technology to construct the houses which, when paired with the government's existing procedures and protocols, will ensure that projects are fast-tracked.
We feel confident that we can enter into a meaningful partnership with Food for the Poor. So we have a very good beneficiary identification system. So Food for the Poor doesn't have to worry about that. There is an entire government machinery put in place that will ensure that the beneficiary is properly documented. But not just that, that the needs are properly assessed. So anyone who gets this house or a Food for the Poor house is someone who is genuinely in need, because a very thorough social investigation would have been undertaken.
And finally, Jamaicans are being urged to prepare for possible impacts of natural disasters, particularly earthquakes. The warning comes from Acting Director General of the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, Richard Thompson. At the recent launch of Earthquake Awareness Month, Mr. Thompson disclosed that the island experienced 345 localized earthquakes and 14 tremors in 2023. This occurrence, he says, indicates the island's vulnerability to earthquakes.
It is of paramount importance that as a country, we place focus on our earthquake preparedness with a view to ensure that we are saving lives, protecting livelihood, safeguarding infrastructure, and ultimately ensuring our economic continuity.
Meanwhile, Mr. Thompson says the ODPEM will continue its drive to increase Jamaica's population awareness on earthquake safety and best practices.
This is being pursued through a multi-sectorial, multi-agency approach to strengthen disaster preparedness and risk reduction, in addition to increasing disaster resilience in preparing for, responding to, and ultimately recovering from adverse earthquake events.
The earthquake unit at the University of the West Indies, MONA, reports that 2 minor earthquakes were felt on the island between Friday night and Saturday morning. Friday's 3.6 magnitude quake had its epicenter 13 kilometers north of Yallis in St. Thomas. Meanwhile, Saturday's tremor was also felt near Yallis and measured 3.5. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Marjorie Gordon. Thank you for watching.